What's going on, everyone? So nothing like adjusting to the snow of Wisconsin. For those that don't know, I moved from Las Vegas to Wisconsin recently. I did a whole video on it. Go check out the community tab in the community section. There's links to the video if you want to know about my trip. And I even created a new channel. Go subscribe to that channel. As it stands, Tyler. Just a little channel kind of diving into things that I want to talk about. So go check out that channel. Go subscribe to that channel. But speaking of Wisconsin and its weather, we're taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. This is the second game of a back-to-back. Lakers have already basically reached the point of what I wanted during this 6-game stretch, right? Going into the 6-game stretch, I said if the Lakers could finish 3-3, I would be happy, right? To me, it's about just weather the storm while LeBron is out. During this 6-game stretch, Lakers were probably going to lose some of these games regardless, even if they were fully healthy, right? And you got to keep in mind, some of these games we didn't have like Dorian Finney-Smith, Jackson Hayes, Rui Hachimura, Luka. We didn't have LeBron, obviously, right? Rui, right? You didn't have like half your team for some of these games. But even if we were fully healthy, 6 games in 8 nights is ridiculous. It's wild. So to me, it was like, as long as the Lakers could finish 3-3, we'd be in good shape. I had to beat Denver in one of those 2 games, which the Lakers did. Handle business against the Denver Nuggets, which you love to see. I wish that we would have gotten that first game where it was just like Reeves and a couple bench guys and then a bunch of G leaguers. That would have been awesome. But nonetheless, I digress. Right, out of the other games that we lost, because we went on that 4-game losing streak, right? Which I was trying to preach, patience, right? We got to be patient because, right, I believe that the Lakers would right the ship, which they have. They're on a 3-game winning streak now. The only game during that stretch that you're like, I wish you didn't lose that, was the Brooklyn game. The Brooklyn game was the only one. The Celtics game is understandable. And plus, if LeBron doesn't get hurt, you might have won that game. But nonetheless, you lose that game, okay, you can understand it. You beat them earlier in the season. Then you had that back-to-back on the road, which is just tough, going from Milwaukee to Denver. Just a lot of travel, a lot of wear and tear. So to me, it was just like, if you can go 3-3, you can. Well, now the Lakers have an opportunity to actually best the record that I thought that they would bare minimum reach, which is 3-3. They have an opportunity now to go 4-2, which to me would be massive. That would be huge for the Lakers, which I think is very doable, right? The Milwaukee Bucks are a dumpster fire this year. They're just not a very good basketball team. Personally, I have zero belief and faith in Milwaukee. That's just me. I don't think that they're a real contender. I think at best they're probably a second-round exit, depending on the matchups. Maybe they could beat the Knicks, because the Knicks are pretty bad this year too, which is surprising because you look at the roster and it's like stacked. But nonetheless, right, Lakers need to handle their business regardless. Now, at the time of recording this video, we have no word on if Luka's playing or Austin Reeves or any of these other guys. I don't hate the idea, however, of sitting Luka and Reeves, in particular because Reeves has played all the games. I wouldn't mind sitting those guys. Chances are you're probably taking an L if that happens, although I don't think it's like a for sure L. Right? Like, I actually could see the Lakers, especially Dalton. I could see Dalton Connect going off for like 30 and, Gabe Vincent and a bunch of other guys. And the more that I think about it, I brought this up in the live stream, the post-game stream, but the more that I think about it, the more I kind of like the idea for a few reasons. One, and I've talked about this in the past when like Anthony Davis and LeBron were out, right? What this does is it forces the role guys to play better, right? You're either getting blown out or guys got to step up, right? And because you don't have Reeves or Luka or LeBron to default to or rely on or have them kind of fix your problems, right? You can't just default to them to score the basketball. Somebody has to step up. Guys have to pick it up, which in return help guys, kind of elevate once you get all your guys back, LeBron and Luka and Austin Reeves. So I don't hate the idea of that. The role guys have been really good, particularly hitting threes, especially Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent in particular. But to me, if you can kind of raise the ceiling for the role guys, that just only helps the Lakers. But then also, resting Luka is good. He's dealing with that ankle injury. I know he balled out in the last game, which was great to see. He didn't even have to play the whole fourth quarter. He really kind of control, like just basically set the tone for that game. But on top of that, Austin Reaves, like I said, has played so many games in this tough stretch. Be nice to kind of get him some rest. And also the Lakers, LeBron will probably be back. Nothing's for sure yet, but probably be back around the 22nd or the 24th. So you could do something where you kind of rest everybody and then they all kind of come back on the 22nd or something like that. And then now you go kind of make that last late season push and really push for, the playoffs, right? Building that momentum, picking up, getting, continue to build chemistry, continue to grow that relationship. I really do love that Luka and Reaves have been really good as that tandem, right? Because one of the things that LeBron talked about was, after the Luka trade was like, Luka's going to have the ball. Luka's going to be the guy. Then Austin Reaves, he's going to have the ball. He's going to get to be one of the other guys. And then I'll kind of fit in where I get in, right? I'll figure it out. It's fine. He even reiterated that recently where he talked about, like, I've had the luxury of my career to where I played multiple, I've worn different hats. I've played off ball. I can play off ball. I know how to do a little bit of everything. Plus, he's so much better of a shooter now than he's ever really been in his career, right? You just see year in and year out, him just continuing to work on his shooting, just becoming better of a shooter. So LeBron's going to go get his 20 plus on a nightly basis. And it also comes down to, JJ Redick and how he staggers LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reaves. So I do think that there's plenty of room for all three guys to eat. I mean, we've seen several teams throughout the course of the history of the league. I mean, more than several. Several's probably an understatement, but a lot of teams have had three guys all average 20 plus. It happens, pretty regularly, that guys are, or at least close 20 plus. And I mean, look at like Reaves. Reaves is nearly averaging 20, right? He's like 19.5 or 19.6, something like that. So I do think that is beneficial as well. And so there is this, I think, argument of like, if you kind of rest everybody for this Milwaukee Bucks game, then now you put yourself in a position to where you kind of give in Luka and Reaves, whatever it is, like 4 or 5 days rest. And then LeBron kind of gets to continue to rest. Rui is expected to be back this week. Which again, maybe the 22nd. And like I said, you just bring everybody back because 22nd would be Saturday. So maybe you just bring everybody back and then kind of let that play out and let that do its thing. And then now you're just full-fledged, like I said, building chemistry, building the relationships, building the understanding and kind of, figuring out how do you want to run your offensive structures now that everyone's healthy and back? What's your rotation looking like? And really start tightening things up. Kind of playoff basketball for the last, at that point it'd be 14 games or whatever, right? So now you got this last home stretch to where you can really work through that. In the same breath though, I don't want to see the Lakers rush guys back either, right? Like I don't want to see LeBron come back on the 22nd just to come back on the 22nd, right? Especially if the Lakers beat the Milwaukee Bucks, right? Then that, like I've said, as long as the Lakers can kind of weather the storm while LeBron's out, it allows LeBron to comfortably take that rest, comfortably take that break, rather than feeling that pressure, feeling that need of like, oh, I got to get back. We've lost 6 straight, 7 straight, something like that. Like my concern was if the Lakers went like 2-8, right? Then it's like, now that's kind of a problem. Now LeBron's going to feel the pressure of coming back, but they didn't. Right? They really lost 3 games because the Celtics game at the end is where LeBron got hurt. So it's kind of like, okay, you lost 3 games, but then you got back and won 3 games. How do you kind of handle that Milwaukee Bucks game? I think may dictate LeBron. But I also think if LeBron is like, hey, I'm good, I'm ready to go, I want to come back on the 22nd. Again, if anybody knows, it would be him, right? I want to come back on the 22nd. Well, then now you can kind of bring everybody back at once. And I really like that idea. And the more that I think about it, the more that I like it. And again, I wouldn't be shocked if the Lakers beat the Milwaukee Bucks. Or maybe you do something where you play Reaves, like you do what you did against Denver. Right, play Reaves, but this time, you'd have Jackson Hayes, you'd have Dorian Finney-Smith, or maybe you rest Dorian Finney-Smith, because he's been, dealing with little nagging injuries and stuff like that, and kind of just go Reaves and Hayes with, the other guys, right? I don't hate that idea. I'm not against that idea at all. You know, but there is a big part of me that's like, you should rest Reeves too. Because Reeves, again, like, obviously, LeBron and Luka, you need them to be as healthy and the best version of themselves as possible. The best version that they can be, right, is going to give you the best chance to win an NBA championship. But you really need Austin Reeves too, right? Austin Reeves, like, if Austin Reeves ends up, knock on wood, goes down or something like that, right? Like, it puts you in just a really tough spot and puts even more pressure on LeBron and Luka to be great. So I also want to see Reeves kind of get some rest, get a couple days to kind of recoup his body too, and then just boom, let's hit the ground running and go rattle off a bunch of these wins. Let's go 10-4 or whatever and get to 52 wins or whatever, 53 wins, whatever. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass the question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you think like, nah, like all hands on deck, gotta beat Milwaukee? Do you think like, no, like, yeah, like rest guys, get everybody in order, and then let's make that last late season push and build momentum going into the playoffs? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are. Either way, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.